Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are starting the today's session on the topic how and what is effective communication. We have a very expert trainer and coach, respected Miss Naila Kazi. And Miss Naila Kazi is a seasoned educator, trainer, and transformational coach with extensive experience in the leadership development, change management, and effective communication. And in the broad sense, the capacity building. She specializes in empowering professionals, educators, and students through dynamic coaching and training sessions focused on communication, change management, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. She is a passionate about the people development. She is also committed to helping individuals, to helping individual navigate the change, unlock their potential, and lead with the clarity and confidence. She is also founding member of Aspire Pakistan. So, with this short introduction, I am leaving the floor to Miss Naila Kazi. Miss Naila Kazi, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. So we have almost 30 people on the call. All right, so one thing I just wanted to point out right away, that if there is anybody who is on unmute and they know that there is noise in their background, we would remove them temporarily from the call and they can come back and rejoin it, right? So it's not an insult. Like, I know we all live in our homes, and even in my own house right now, my kids are working, my husband is working, and then we are our cat running around. So we that's the reality of the way we work. So don't feel ashamed. If we remove you, then you come back. But I really don't want to disrupt. I'm very unwell today, but this session is extremely important for me. I'm very, very thrilled, as Izhar said, that I really love to be passionately help professionals. I don't know, all of you are students, professionals, or aspiring professionals, wherever life takes you, even people who belong to my country, right? I hope everybody on this call is from Pakistan, and uh, I think the main legacy or the main contribution which a professional could do is really bringing their knowledge and giving it to you, right? So even from this call, you may think that, oh, but I've heard this before and I know this before, and it's the reality of today cluttered world. Like, there is so much knowledge, so cheap, so readily available. But even if you walk away with just one nugget, that one thing that stood out for you, I would think that that hour was like worth spending time together, right? So please stay on the call. You're 34 people, other than Izhar and me, there are 32 people. I guarantee you, when you walk away after 35 minutes, then we will open up for question and answers. You will achieve something, because I teach here all over the world, in corporate world, large organizations. I recently won, spoiler alert, an award for excellence in leadership and change from Association of Change Management. That's the global excellence in change and leadership that would be announced by the Association of Change Management in July. So I'm here spending my time. We generally get paid $1,000 a day, and you could break up like 1 hour would be lots of money if we um, take that proportion. But anytime I have shared my LinkedIn profile, like, I would really expect that everyone in this group should already have their LinkedIn profile. Like, just get in touch with me. We do lots of webinars in collaboration with different people all over the world. I just off from a phone call with the meeting in Zurich, Switzerland, a virtual call, and we were just talking about how to empower women, how to empower people in change management. So how to, like, really give people more tools, right? So please, I have shared my LinkedIn, and you're most welcome. It's in the chat, and you connect with me, and don't WhatsApp me, because I'm not going to respond to that. But before we do that, this is a working session. So either you may be taking picture of something, but the whole program which I'm going to teach you in it take we do it in a week, but I'll be trying to give you the like tip of the iceberg. So take pictures and then I'll put you into the breakout room. Azhar, can we do the breakout room where people can be put into the breakout room? Can you make the co-host as well? And then people will discuss in the breakout room or work in their smaller groups and they can come back. That's what my plan is, right? So all right, let's get started with effective communication. We all think that we can communicate. We all have worked in different organizations, in our universities, in our schools. You guys might be communicating very well in your life. And communication is not the language. Communication is not that your English should be very good. That's a very wrong impression which we have of ourselves. It's actually self-demeaning. It's low self-esteem, and we think, oh, my accent is not good. And I felt that for so long, but that is not it. It's actually the content, it's the clarity. There is a framework which we own. It's our trademark framework. Don't steal it, don't sell it, but you're most welcome to use it for today because we're going to practice it, this framework. And that's based on my almost 20 years of experience. I left Pakistan, half of you maybe like little babies, maybe not even born. It was 1998, and I came to Australia. I did my master's from Melbourne University. Then I went to Sydney University. Anyway, it's not all about me. There's a lot of education and lots of corporate experience. Like I'm from the field. I am not from academia. I'm not PhD and I'm not from this, although I have lots of education. But my life has been spent in organizations from telecommunications to hospitals to consulting firm launching AI to SAP programs, ERP implementation, culture change. I have done it all. Australia, Canada, US, some of the European countries as well. And now we are expanding our time and scope and collaborations into the Middle East as well. So, what really works very well in an organization, right? Even if some of you, I see professors, I see doctors, I see lots of those titles, perfectly fine. Some of you, even you're not there and you are on your path to go there, going forward, and even in your final year of university. This is Rahman, Sayyid Rahman Ashraf. Can you please put yourself on mute? So you guys will be using communication all your life, and that is really going to this is going to help you a lot. So let's get started with I'll give you a scenario, and in that do you see my screen, Izhar?
Yes, I can.
Was I on mute all this time and I was talking?
No, 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 no. You are
Okay,
unmuted.
I was talking. All right. So first of all, let's talk about uh change is changing, like the whole world is changing. The AI is coming and different softwares are coming, different programs, organization are launching. Even in Pakistan, people are changing. Some of you may be freelancing, right? You will be supporting people who are changing. Like all my team is in Pakistan. They have learned so much about change and how to have effective communication over a period of time as well, right? So when we look at my screen and we talk about kind of three main communication challenges. Number one is different stakeholders. Stakeholders, the word stakeholder, who are they? People who are impacted by that communication. Like that could be anybody. That could be executives who only want to focus on return on investment. Uh, then we have people who are managers who are right in the middle, like they just deal with the frontline staff. They take orders from the top and they are in the middle. And then we have frontline people like you and me, is hard. We are working all the time and we're doing our work. So we listening rumors, we hearing from everywhere, but we don't know the truth. We don't know the reality. So these are kind of three layers of where generally organization, and then there are thousands layers underneath, like unions, say for example, people who don't have emails, like your guards, your security guards, or your lawn mowers in an organization, or people who are markers, the examination markers, if it's university environment. So there are several groups of stakeholders, but I just divided them into kind of these three groups. And then multiple consideration, what we have to consider this, that multiple consideration means the timing uh, of your messaging, which is extremely important. Timing of the message is very, very important. And then we do um, who is the right messenger. I'll give you an example. For example, if it's a university and if it's a big change has to happen in the university, who would be the right messenger for an all staff message which goes to everybody? Just head on to the chat and type it in the chat who is going to be the key person who would send that initial message. In the university environment in Pakistan, universities are very famous. You guys have been to universities, like, and you can write down in the chat who should send that message from VC or head of the department. I don't know registrar or not, but I think it should must come from the top. If registrar is the top, then it comes from that, right? And then from there onwards, if it's only chemistry department which is changing, where should the communication come from? It should come from head of chemistry. You understand that, right? There are emojis as well, or icons, like you could give me yes, it makes sense, or not. Yes, you can even give me love heart wherever you want, or you can give me, yeah, it made sense kind of thing, right? So that's what we call timing matters. Then you don't communicate like many months in advance. The change is not there, then it becomes a rumor. And our culture is way more like rumorous culture, right? So you don't want a rumor and then people don't trust that change, then they think, is it happening or not? Like this, there is always lack of that trust, right? So we have to have the right timing, we have to have the right messenger, and the most important thing is the right format, right? So people could get engaged, because people are so cluttered, so busy. And if you look at your culture, the country you are in right now, there is so much noise you don't know. So it's very, very important that how do we get some attention time so people could listen to that news, right? And that is, how do we do that? What format we use? And I have some formats which I could then ask you which one would you use. And then the high stakes, one size fits all approaches fail. In the past, historically, people would have like one email, draft it, send it to all over the world, and your entire organization understands it and gets it. But that does not work anymore. Like one size does not fit all at all. Now we have to have, according to the target audience, the targeted communication. Does that make sense? Like, say, for example, if it's youth, our communication messages should be for youth, say, for example. If it's people like my age, older people, then it has to be that kind of age group. But if it's mature people like is her, then we have to have that mid-age kind of group. And then there are people who are older than me. Like, how do we have that message? So one size does not fit all. Like within the same message, it could be the same message, but for each target group, you have to target communication as well. And then we will talk about also how the formatting should be done. Like for some groups, social media would work the very best. Okay, which group would be more attuned to social media? Type it in the chat very, very quickly. Come on, guys. All of each one of you know how to chat. Unless you're sleeping, you should be able to head on to the chat. Which uh, social media, like which group would be more attuned? Gen Z or youth, right? All right. Or maybe the free moms at home as well, right? Gen Z. All right. If it's an email which has lots of attachment, which group would most probably read that? An email with lots of very laborious attachments. Researchers, youth, millennials, yeah, they would reach it, they would read it, they would also people who has to make some decision, middle age, we could say that. Middle age, we're not talking about in terms of age like 40, 60, 30 years. We're talking about people who are used to looking at information in certain way or certain format. At some stage, it was just email. Videos, like who would be more inspired by videos? Just getting a message through a video, like who is that? I think almost everybody, like everybody scrolls. We kind of link through videos, and we look into like our messaging through videos. So understanding stakeholders, two kind of lenses I'm presenting it here, as I guess that most of our audience on this call are either fall into the executive lens, where you have to make decision, or you fall into the manager lens, where there are a lot of concerns. So executives always worry about returns on investment, that all right, if we spend this much time in and money on this change, on this decision making, would people be able to listen to our messaging, right? So they always measure, this much money is being spent, is this much return being um, received, and is our messaging right or not? But when we talk about managers' concerns, they are more worried about timelines. They think that, oh, we already have so much work on our plate. We have like so much uh, in terms of our deliverables this month. Always managers are short of staff, they are understaffed, time resistance, so the team resistance also is a big concern for them. People say, Sergi, I can't just do this, you keep on piling up more and more work. So those are their concerns as well. So as you could see, the concerns here are very, very different. This is more about whatever we are investing, is it going to be helpful or not, fruitful or not, are we going to take advantage of that or not? Or over here, the concern is, I don't have enough staff. Like now, the leadership is launching a new change. Am I able to uh, be able to even be successful or not, right? And then frontline anxiety. The frontline people I talked about, the lawnmower or people who are marking the paper in examination halls and those kind of frontline staff, they only one worry. Their worry is our job secure or not? Would we keep the job or not? And it's happening a lot, especially in the West, because lots and lots jobs are being laid off, and people are very worried. Any single job change which is happening right now, either in AI or due to any technology being launched, the first worry people have is fear of loss of job. So frontline staff, there's a lot of anxiety. There is a lot of that lack of stability in people's careers now, that they don't know what to do. And that is the frontline kind of concern. So if you are the one who has to design the messaging, if you are the one who has to design the key message, the key messenger, you have to keep in mind that people are very anxious, especially the front line. And that's why they become rude. That's why they become resistant. That is the reason, because all that resistance and anger is data, right? It's a data. And if you unpeel it, there is a reason of insecurity. They have families, they have kids. In here, we don't even own our homes, right? We buy mortgage from the bank, and then we have to pay the mortgage, and it really affects emotionally that. And then we become rude, we become anxious, people become sick, people uh, just do things which we cannot even imagine, just because job is a livelihood, right? And your messaging and your timing and your right messaging is extremely important for people. So where do we generally fail in terms of communication? I think I'll take a little pause here. I would say that at this stage, uh, I would give you, um, anyone wants to share any recent change either they have seen, or they have seen their organization going through, or they have been in that change where all these three things happened, that senior leadership team was only interested in money and what outcome we would get, whereas the middle manager were worried about the resources are not enough for that change. How are we going to provide training? Who is going to do this extra work? And the front line was very, very worried about losing job. I will try to break you in breakout room if you have not done before. They appear at the bottom of your screen, and then you can get into the breakout room. Izar, can we send people to the breakout room? Could you give me the permission?
I think
They're
we couldn't do
disabled.
right now.
They
We
we
can
can't
do
do
it.
it. Sorry.
Yes, we can do right now.
Okay, so gallery speaker, you we can or we cannot.
ओके यूजुअली इस तरह है कि अगर किसी का कोई कंसर्न है तो हैंड रेस कर सकते हैं और
No,
अपना
no. I am. That was not my question. My question was, can we do breakout rooms or not?
वी डू लेकिन अभी हमने उसको एक्टिवेट नहीं किया तो थोड़ा टाइम
All
लगेगा
right, we can't. All right, let's have people participate through raising their hands. All right, guys. So, what example we talking about? We're talking about um, a recent change, or maybe past 2 or 3 years change, which you have seen, where these three groups we are talking about, where the executive lens was different, manager concern was different, and then front line was a different anxiety. All right. So, Suhail Akhtar, you want to say something? Go ahead, please.
Yes, madam. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Madam, yes, I would like to add on this. मेरा बड़ा एक recent experience है. मैं यहाँ पर यूके में एज एकेडमिक जॉब कर रहा हूँ
जी जी
और मैंने 2022 सितंबर में ये पोजीशन ज्वाइन की लेक्चरर की. तो जब मैं यहाँ पर आया तो डेफिनेटली कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के ऊपर लिखा हुआ था परमानेंट जॉब. I was very happy that okay, I can do this job as long as I want, and if at any point of time I want to switch, I will switch at my own choice. सो जब मैंने ज्वाइन की तो आने के साल बाद ही यहाँ पर यूके में बेसिकली काफी पॉलिटिकल लेवल पे चेंजेस आई. इमिग्रेशन का क्राइसिस, कोविड के बाद बहुत ज्यादा यहाँ पे इमिग्रेशन हुई और फिर 2023 में लंदन में बहुत ज्यादा कुछ इश्यूज भी हुए कुछ
Yeah.
मर्डर्स के बाद. और अब वो पूरी इमिग्रेशन की लैंडस्केप चेंज हुई, नई गवर्नमेंट आई एंड दैट इज बैडली अफेक्टिंग द एजुकेशनल सेक्टर. अब हो ये रहा है कि यूनिवर्सिटीज ने जब ये एंटिसिपेट किया कि उनकी इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट इनटेक जो कि यूके की यूनिवर्सिटीज का एक मेजर कह लें कि इकोनॉमी का भी एलिमेंट है और ऑब्वियसली यूनिवर्सिटीज का भी एक वो जो इनपुट है इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स की. तो नाउ दे स्टार्टेड अ चेंज. तो अब वहां से हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में जब मैं आया फिर यहाँ पे थोड़े ऐसे बाद मंथली होती थी टाउन हॉल
I
मीटिंग्स.
would interrupt. I would say that we only have 30 minutes. So, could
राइट.
you just
या
narrow it down, please?
एग्जैक्टली. सो वो फाइनेंशियल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन प्रोजेक्ट एक उन्होंने शुरू किया जिसमें वही चेंज जिसका आप कह रही हैं कि चेंज उन्होंने प्रपोज की. रीब्रांडिंग ऑफ करिकुलम और स्कूल्स की जो है वो मर्जर हुआ और देन यू नो रिड्यूसिंग द स्टाफ एंड मेकिंग पीपल रिडंडेंट. तो इस तरह की एक पूरी एक्टिविटी जो है फिर वो एक स्टार्ट हुई जो कि रिसेंट ईयर में मैंने देखी. और एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू वर सेइंग कम्युनिकेशन के मामलात, टॉप लीडरशिप की कम्युनिकेशन और लेट्स सपोज मिडिल मैनेजमेंट और देन फ्रंट लाइन पीपल जो कि हम एज अ फैकल्टी मेंबर हम लोग
Bilkul. Absolutely. Yeah.
फियरफुल थे कि हमारी जॉब्स रिडंडेंट होने वाली. और वन ऑफ माय कोलीग ही जस्ट लास्ट वीक went back to Pakistan after he was made redundant, and he was the one who joined a couple of years back. So
So
this is a very recent
anyway,
experience.
Gigi, thank you so much for the example, and let's narrow it down.
Yeah,
That what you're
yeah,
saying, that yes, each level has a different fear, and it's really affecting people. And if uh, देखो, चेंज तो अगर होना है और होना ही है, राइट? और रिसोर्सेज अगर नहीं है उनको, लोगों को रिडंडेंट बनाना है, तो वो तो होना ही होना है. बट आई ऑलवेज से कि do it in a nice way, communicate people so people are ready. People do not kind of make arrangements and then suddenly out of nowhere they get shocked, right? They should be mentally prepared, they should be properly trained for other options as well, right? So what else is there? Some of the organizations यहाँ पे in Canada, I was a victim of that redundancy, but they did it's such an amazing job that even today I just stand up and I'm their big advocate, although I lost my job. But they did it so well. They have us like 6 months roadmap, road plan that this is going to happen. You will no longer have a job here. And during these 6 months, let us know how do we prepare you. So there was a communication. My family was not shocked. My kids were young. They were doing different sports. So we could plan, me and my husband, right? But if it's sudden bad communication, only one email, and then you are made redundant. I also have examples of one of my bosses. He was let go, a VP. And they called him from Ontario, which is our biggest province, where our head office is. And they called him in one of the smaller city, and they made him redundant on the phone call. How heartbreaking would that be? And how humiliating as a human that you are an executive and you are being uh, like laid off or being redundant on a phone call. So organizations pick and choose, and that's how I think the dignity is, that do it in a nice way. And once you learn this, that it has to be done in a nice way, then you are not afraid to do good communication, right? So someone had a comment that even in universities, effective communication is not encouraged. We're not talking about communication openness, the political side. We're not talking about that. We're talking about when a change is happening, because my profession is change. When change is happening, we have to have a roadmap of the right timings. अपने fingertips पे याद कर लें the timing of that communication, the right messenger who should send that message out, the right format. Should it be a video we should send out? Should it be an email? Should it be in person gathering in a cafeteria and tell everybody, hey guys, it's not a good news for some people, but in the next 3 months we are going to lose some of us. You know, you see that in the movies as well. All right, Sayyid Rahman Ashraf, you have to share something, please. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm जी आवाज आ रही है क्लियर आई
जी
थिंक
बिल्कुल, या
ओके ओके अब मैं एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के हवाले से ये जो तीन आपने लाइंस बताए एग्जीक्यूटिव मैनेजर एंड फ्रंट लाइन उसमें मैं इसको इस तरह से डिफाइन करूंगा जो आजकल पाकिस्तान के अंदर हो रहा है एग्जीक्यूटिव लाइंस यस पैसे कमाने हैं शॉर्ट टर्म पैसे कमाएं और वो कमाने के बाद फिर दाएं बाएं कर देंगे जैसे पाकिस्तान के अंदर रियल एस्टेट इज द मोस्ट फेवरेट टॉपिक्स बजाय इसके कि जो करंट बिजनेस लाइंस हैं उसको सस्टेनेबल लेवल पे लेकर जाएं प्रॉफिट्स को डाइवर्ट कर दिया जाता है टूवर्ड्स रियल एस्टेट अच्छा जो मैनेजर कंसर्न्स होते हैं जैसे आपने कहा है यहाँ पर उसके लिए हम एक रिसेंटली एक रफ्तार नाम का एक चैनल है उसने एक बड़ी अच्छी वीडियो भी बनाई थी एंड दे यूज्ड अ वर्ड मुंशी फॉर द मैनेजर कंसर्न्स उनके नजदीक क्या है कि वो जो एग्जीक्यूटिव लाइन्स होते हैं उनको कहते हैं जी सब अच्छा है सब अच्छा है कुछ नहीं हो रहा और वो जो फ्रंट लाइन ऑफिसर्स होते हैं उनको हमेशा प्रेशराइज हैं कि जी अगर तुमने कुछ किया तो तुम्हें नौकरी खत्म कर दी जाएगी तुम्हें ये भी करना है तुमने ये और इसकी वजह से क्या हुआ है बिकॉज इन स्पेशली इन पाकिस्तान जो डॉलर्स और पीकेआर की डिस्पैरिटी हुई है और जो महंगाई हुई है उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ है कि जो फ्रंट लाइन की एंजाइटी थी उसकी वजह से
जी
राइट नाउ स्टिल वो कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं एग्जीक्यूटिव्स
yeah, it's
तो
you're
अभी
right.
भी
It's absolutely.
उसके अंदर
I agree with that. I will cut the question short because unfortunately we are all so politically electrified because you live in that reality, महंगाई की reality के अंदर और पैसा बनाने की. Whatever our conversation is, we are taking it to that sense, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something different. Maybe I'm not here connecting the connection with you. Dr. Asma Shahid, and after that, I will redo what I am kind of respin what I'm saying. Ji, go ahead, Dr. Asma, please.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to share something that you said, कि जी, how different channels of communications are used through change. And the recent change that came about in our university is that the admission process was handed over to the registrar office instead of the faculty.
Mm-hmm.
And there, I could figure out what you're saying, how the initial emails were sent and how the faculty or the heads were told to nominate someone from a junior clerk or somebody, from the staff to be trained for the admission process. And then if there weren't any there, then the registrar office took charge of that. How the troubleshooting took over, how they had to monitor things. So, small video clips were also shared so that the faculty knew they were oriented and they could go back to troubleshoot themselves. So all these means of communications took place, and then again how it was being told and the hierarchy, that it first came from the VC office and then the registrar office, and then finally the person in charge was the one who was communicating directly. So
So you think it was a good example of communication?
Absolutely, you know, it just the entire scenario fit in perfectly over there. That
Yeah, yeah.
the
And
hierarchy
they
has to be clear, the audience has to be clear, and at each stage you need to know how to troubleshoot.
And very good. And you also mentioned some videos were used, some emails, some newsletters, some in-person kind of gatherings. So this is called multi-modal, multi-modality communication, not one size fit all, right? You can't just have
Bilkul.
email. You have to have different things, right? And
Bilkul.
that's
So,
what we're
so that
talking about.
that clerical staff was then trained in person, and you know, then we had focal persons for the admissions who were also informed about what to do. So there was a different kind of communication going on parallel at each level, so that you know, things were working in a kind of a synergy.
Yeah, and that's where I wanted to go. This was a very good example. I know जो redundancy की example आपने दी लंदन से और जो भी अभी आपने पाकिस्तान के executive level की दी कि people are all about making money, they are very relevant things in your lives and I agree with those. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about here, जो अभी डॉक्टर आसमा ने शेयर किया और ये भी पाकिस्तान में ही हो रहा है, आपके उसी पाकिस्तान में हो रहा है जहाँ पे we are complaining that people are just focused on making money, right? But at the same time, there is a very good example, which is multi-modality, multimodal communication, where so many medium has we have used media of communication like whatever she described. Just don't want to repeat it, right? So where communication pitfalls, and my personal example where I actually made mistake as a change manager, also part of my responsibility is communication, which I've seen where I made mistakes early on in my career. One size email blast that I recommended to somebody, one of our senior leader, let's do the email. And overnight we drafted an email and we sent it to everybody. Now that email was received by different level and by different anxiety levels in a very, very different way. So that was good for all staff communication, but that was not enough. There should be then targeted and focused things as well. The next thing was poor timing, right? Too early communication, it causes anxiety. If things are not happening and you do communication too early, uh, if there is year or there is months kind of in the waiting, it's poor timing. You actually have to have a nice medium. Like 3 months is good time, 2 months good time. Some changes require just make announcement even 1 week in advance, and some changes require like a year in advance. The redundancy example, इनको 1 साल चाहिए था because he has to come back to Pakistan जहाँ पे already there is not very much employment opportunities available. So he needed like at least a year in advance notice that this will happen to you. But I don't blame Western um, economies as well, because after COVID nothing is normal here. I've been out of Pakistan for almost 25 years. I have not seen what is happening in the past 5 to 6 years, which I'm seeing now, in terms of unemployment, in terms of people's livelihood being affected. And the last piece is very important, and that's wrong messenger. Now you can add as a twist, as a joke, um, Pakistani politics, there is always one messenger of whatever you do in our culture, in our country. Uh, I just laugh. I shouldn't say this. Azar, cut this part of me of the thing. So wrong messenger is the worst thing which you could do, because sometimes you think that, oh, it's a dean or it's a vice president of the company, but maybe they are not very well trusted. Maybe they're not very well liked. Someone just said, I think Rahman said that um, people are just about making money and they don't. So maybe they're not very well appreciated. Maybe there are more honest people who could be the right messenger of that change. But we have to make that decision. Do they have that authority and that scope as well of their information would be read by everybody or not? Would an information by a vice president of Telenor would be read more seriously, or by a department of network or AI would be read more seriously? So you have to make a decision. But most of the time in the Western world, a person of more credibility is a person who is selected. And then we talk about the key question, that how do you reach? This is the key question. You can take even a picture of this and install it as a wallpaper when, if you do communication. How do you reach the right people with the right message at the right time? Like that is, no one could ever say that they are perfect. I have done almost 20 years of work in this industry, in this area. I still get it wrong sometimes. I still kind of make mistake. I collaborate, partner with others from my team, from my bosses, project sponsors, because I'm not confident that is this the right person? How do we do that? Should we do the email first or should we send the video first? If we send the video first, should we not do a webinar or a focus group like this and then really talk about it? So there is a framework which is our trademark. So you can take a copy, or even Chat GPT would create a copy of this, so you're not in a trouble. The first one is content, that is right message. It's very important that your message has to be right, like right size the message. What I'm saying, that have a message which really affect that person, have the message for them. Say, for example, if a message for student, it should be appropriate for that audience. If it's a message for the gardener or the gatekeeper or whoever, the mess staff, all that terminology is all Pakistani terminology. We don't use that here at all because we do everything by ourselves. In organization, there are no such titles, but whatever your audience is, your content should be right. So the first piece, big piece, is have the content right. Then the lead voice. Who is your messenger? Like which message should be gone by who? Like supervisor should send a message to the mess staff, right? Engagement timing, what is the right time? And also timing during the day. Do you want to send this news one day before Eid, when there is next day Eid and 19 people are being laid off or they are losing their job? No, right? Either do it even before Ramzan, don't do it before the religious month, and don't do it when people have to spend a lot of money. Like here, people avoid firing people before Christmas, right? Or during Christmas time. So that's the timing, right? And also, should it be early in the morning? Should it be Friday afternoon? Should it be after lunchtime? So that timing as well. And then the duration: 1 month, 1 week, 1 year, 3 months, 3 weeks. The next big piece is approach format. And then I have some formats for you which you could really share, that would could be the best format. Email, document, FAQs, some internet site, video messaging, webinars, in person, hybrid meetings, some people on webinar, some people in the office. So those kind of tools you could use, and relevance to the audience. Tailor it to the audience. So you cannot have head of the department kind of communication for a student, because they don't care for that. Students are only concerned, all right, is the fees is going to higher or not, or is the next semester on or off. They are not interested in anything else. So I would take a little pause. I will ask anyone else want to share anything. You can open your mic and please share, and I'll bring another screen while I'm doing this. Anyone wants to share anything which you want to share with us?
Uh, okay. I want to share about the engagement timings, the right timings.
Yeah.
Usually, जो appraisals होती हैं, that's my observation in 2 to 3 companies. Appraisals के जो grades होते हैं वो Friday को वाया email, या अगर in person बताने हो तो बिल्कुल आखिर वक्त में बताए जाते हैं, ताकि बंदा जो भी अपनी यूजुअली अप्रेजल से 90% लोग कभी खुश नहीं होते हैं, तो वो घर जाके के अपनी जो भी फ्रस्ट्रेशंस हों वो उसको रिमूव करें. तो यूजुअली अप्रेजल्स के मामले में तो ये मेरी ऑब्जर्वेशन है.
And you think is this the right approach, or you can improve it?
मैनेजमेंट प्रोस्पेक्टिव्स में यस, मे बी द राइट अप्रोच, क्योंकि मैनेजमेंट ये चाहती है कि नेक्स्ट डे आकर के वो फिर प्रोडक्ट को खराब ना कर दें.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah. Anyone else? I think this, I like this example. Yeah. Anyone else?
My question is,
Yeah.
where is student there? What is
Sorry?
the message for you? What is your message for students? They're starting new beginners.
all these messages for new beginners, right? So you really have to have whatever we said applies to everybody. It's not just for one person, right? Whatever I said, it applies to everyone. You have to make the best case, best use. Like, um, I just wanted to present something where I kind of did.
अच्छा, एक और चीज भी है जो मेरी भी ऑब्जर्वेशन है, बहुत सारों की होगी, कि बजट जो होते हैं पाकिस्तान में वो भी वर्किंग डे के आखिरी पहर में लॉन्च किए जाते हैं, ताकि जो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज जो जिस तरह की जो दूसरी मार्केट्स हैं, अगर उनके अंदर कोई फ्लक्चुएशंस उनको नजर आए कि बहुत बड़ा कोई इफेक्ट आएगा, तो वो उसको थोड़ा बहुत मॉडिफाई कर सके. दैट्स माय
Absolutely.
ऑब्जर्वेशन.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone is very smart who really makes those decisions, right? So those people have seen the market, like, and they know and how they do that. And I think that's a very good observation as well. Thanks for sharing that. And someone asked me a question that what is my advice for student? Is there anybody who would answer that question? What's the advice for student in all this talk? Dr. Asma, would you like to answer that question? Will you take it away? Are you
Sorry,
still
if you
on the
just,
call?
yes, I'm very much here. We are talking about how we need to communicate to students.
No, someone asked that what is my message in all this presentation for
For
students?
students also.
Interesting. I don't know because we are communicating to students. They are, as faculty. So they are the recipients. If we are talking about it from that perspective, then again, what you said, the timing is very important. If it's an exam, if it's told way too early, they will forget about it. If it's told just before the exam, then it would be too close. So the timing needs to be right, and maybe it needs to be reinforced time and again. Like at the beginning of the session, they can be informed, and then that needs to be followed up at a certain time, or that a reminder email or some other way of communication takes place. Similarly, if we are looking for communication coming from the students, then that changes the perspective altogether.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think I'll just add a little bit to that, that in all this presentation, whatever we have talked about, you can apply to your personal life because you're a student now in certain phase of your life, you will know अपनी पूरी लाइफ स्टूडेंट तो नहीं रहेंगे ना आई डोंट नो मे बी योर लास्ट ईयर फाइंडिंग जॉब you'll be working in an organization you may be running your own business so you can use all these techniques and tools which you know uh, and then apply it into your personal life as well. It's not just professional life, right? How do you communicate with your kids, what time, how do you communicate with your parents, with your neighborhood people? We always plan. We're very smart human beings and we keep on thinking what's the best way, kab baat karni chahiye, kab nahi karni chahiye. So we take these messages and apply it wherever they are applicable. I just wanted to share this one and then I'll open the floor for questions. Communication assets. There's several things which you could use. I'm not going to read through like line by line item. The first box says verbal and in person, town halls, team huddle, focus group, meetings. You can use those road shows. You know how we put stalls on and booths. We kind of that is very in person live information. The other big piece is digital media like emails, meetings. These days, lots of live Q&A question like the webinar we are having, for example. Then digital countdowns, AI, co-pilots, FAQs, those kind of things. Lots of AI stuff. Then print visual still people like to have printed stuff. I like to print my stuff as well. Maybe I'm old fashioned, maybe old style, maybe that's the style of learning our generation learned. So I still like to print something. My kids are always on their device and the smallest possible device, which kind of is mind boggling. Print visuals, the infographics, they are very good brochures, flyers, pamphlets. And then you can also use mobile on the go thing, like how WhatsApp messages are very common, PDFs which can open on the devices. You can use all these things to enrich your messaging, right? And role-based toolkits. This is very important because if it's a frontline gardener and his role is being changed, you're not going to send him a user guide or manual, will you? Of course not, right? उसके साथ तो आप किसी को यूनियन के बंदे को भेजेंगे या किसी और को और वन ऑन वन बात करेंगे और you will talk to them in person, right? Because they wouldn't understand. You will not do a hybrid session on a webinar like this for them. So you have to use the asset according to the also digital literacy of the group as well. Sometimes executives don't like too much technology. So at the very, very top, they don't. They generally say, yaar, teen baatein batao kya hai? Teen big points kya hai? I'm not going to go into and go and link into the Zoom call. They don't do that. So it's both like at the top end and here at the bottom end. They are, I call them really not literate digitally or not interested, not excited, right? So you have to really think that how do we convey to those two layers if you have to convey any message. And then engagement feedback, very, very important. What happens is we always have one side kind of communication, and we never listen to the other party, how it's being received. So have some kind of feedback, surveys, polls. I don't know in Pakistan they do surveys or not, but polls could be good, quizzes could be good. And ask people, come and tell my office doors are open. Just tell me what works, what does not. So these are some of the good assets which you could use, right? So with that, I kind of conclude it here. I just wanted to make two quick announcements, and then I see the number is dropping as well. There are two different programs which we do. Number one is Organizational Change Management Program, OCMPR, and the other one is Women of Impact Fellowship. So Izhar, when he's sending you the follow-up email, he would send the document for both of those. So Women of Fellowship, it's a fellowship. They are both virtual program. One is on Saturday, one is Sunday, same time, virtual 3 hours every week. They will last like 8 weeks. So you're most welcome to join in and reach out to us. Sorry, my throat gets drier and drier. Anyone wants to add anything? You want to open up your um, mic and add anything which really kind of resonated with you in today's session?
Thank you, ma'am, Naila Kazi, for your time. Allah Hafiz.